they can probably hear me. But that's kind of cool anyway. Yeah, Mojo Menace Weekly!
Jesus, for the week of February 27th. You got me all discombobulated now. 2022. I think you're getting a little too comfortable here, Josh. This is Mojo Weekly. I am John.
It's Josh.
All right. Josh is taking over. He's
taking over, man. Taking over.
Getting a little too cozy here. So we are recording well in the past, and because I am currently out of town, but through the magic of the internet.
Whoa. Kayfabe. Do you know what kayfabe is, John?
I have no idea.
It's a wrestling term. It's the illusion. It's the backstage that we all know that it's fake, and we all know that it's predetermined, and we all know that it's scripted. However, the audience doesn't know that, John. Jesus Christ! You don't tell them the secrets. Kayfabe. Kayfabe.
Oh, sorry, but the reason I bring it up is because we're not talking about news this week. Because I can't predict the news. Make a prediction, Josh. Make a prediction. What happens this week?
Nothing of consequence.
Nothing of consequence. All right. Shit, I just blew our last question. That would have been a good one. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, on the last episode, we talked about how the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U eShop. I love if you're watching this at home, Josh is like, get out of there.
No. She was asking me if she could have ice cream. So I'm like, hey.
Gotcha.
And I'm screaming at the cat, get out of here. It was actually one of those episodes we couldn't get the video of. I was fighting with a cat. It's 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. But last week we talked about how the 3DS and Wii U eShops are going down in a year, and how in May you'll no longer be able to add any funds to your account on the 3DS and Wii U eShop. So we figured, first of all, nobody gives a shit about the Wii U, so we're just not going to even talk about that. I know.
That pissed off all three of our listeners.
Yeah.
All of them. They're done. They just logged off and they're never listening again.
And but really, like, most of what's good on the Wii U eShop has either been moved to Switch, or is available in other places, or is like a virtual console style thing. So it's not really exclusive to the Wii U eShop. And sure, there are maybe like a handful, but we're going to concentrate tonight on recommending some games that are exclusive to the 3DS eShop, and you should add your funds before May. And maybe purchase some of these. So, Josh,
and guess what I'll be doing?
You're going to be writing these down?
Taking fucking notes. Yes, my friend, because I'm going to dive in head first into this 3DS and DS library of games that I completely missed out on.
Yeah. So all of these games are 3DS exclusives. The DS, as most people listening know, did not have an online store until the DSi came out, which was like the last model of the DS. And there were a handful of good games for that. We're not going to talk about the DSi games. We're simply talking about the games that came out for the 3DS and are exclusive to that console's eShop. This isn't an all-encompassing thing. There are plenty of resources out there if you want that. These are just more like recommendations that I have, right?
Oh, sure.
So let's jump in. We're going to go through these alphabetically because that's how organized I am. And the first one is called Aeroporter.
Oh my God. Is that like a sequel to Aero the Acrobat?
No, nor is it a sequel to Aero Blasters. This is Aeroporter, and it is a puzzle game by Ute Saito. You know who that is. Come on, pop quiz, Josh.
Ute Saito?
Yeah. No Googling.
Oh,
no Googling.
Okay, that is okay. I remember those guys. That is what
that guy.
There's one guy. Oh, sorry. Well, he's the one that Joe Pesci was referencing in My Cousin Vinny. He was like Utes, the two Utes.
Yeah, the two Ute Saito's. No,
Yeah.
the Ute Saito is a guy who is he's been a developer active for a while. He's looks like he's about 60 years old at this point. But his first major game release was Sim Tower. But then he went on to make a little something called Seaman on the Dreamcast.
Oh shit!
Yeah. And also Odama on the GameCube, which is like a pinball real-time strategy game that's super fun and weird.
Yeah, very weird.
Yep. So Ute Saito made this game, and it's basically you're controlling luggage. You are a porter at an airport, and you're controlling luggage and the flow of luggage, and it's like a puzzle game. And you have to make sure the luggage gets to the right, airplane, I guess, right? And so what's funny about this game is that if you watch the video on the 3DS in the eShop, he does a little introduction for it. And he's like, you know what? I just wanted to make a goofy little puzzle game that's easy for people to get into and becomes really addictive. And that's what it is. You know, it's very simple. Just you see little suitcases going around on these conveyor belts, and you just have to like push the button at the right time to make sure they get to the right bin. That's really all it is. Simple game. I think it's like $5. Next up, I want to talk about the Art Academy software titles. These aren't games. These are actually little bits, bits of software that teach you how to draw. Not really a game, but it's a good example of what a DS or a console with a stylus can do. All right, a little unique thing, right? So you can learn how to draw, and it teaches you different techniques about shading and colors and contrast and lighting and all that stuff. Pretty neat. I think there are like, I don't know, 3 different titles, but they're also pretty cheap. This one is one that you should definitely write down, Josh. This is Attack of the Friday Monsters. All right. Attack of the Friday Monsters. This is a great little game. It's a breezy little, probably 4-hour game, an adventure where you are a Japanese child living in a small Japanese village in like the 70s. And maybe giant robots attack, or maybe kaiju attack. We don't know. But you wander around your little village. You talk to the people in your town, and it's really, really charming, fun little game. Attack of the Friday Monsters.
Okay.
I think you would like that one.
Okay, I wrote it down.
Yeah, it's got like that whimsical. So it's not like there aren't like turn-based battles or anything like that. It's more like just an adventure where you're walking around talking to people, trying to solve this mystery of what's going to happen. But you know, it's got that kind of Earthbound-ish vibe. You know,
that's pretty cool. Okay, I can get that.
Just like a group of kids trying to solve a little mystery. Next up, we got the Box Boy series. There are 3 games on the 3DS called Box Boy, Box Boy, and Bye Bye Box Boy. These are little puzzle games where you're just a simple box with legs, bloop, 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 and it's like a puzzle platformer. Really fun, really clever, really charming. Developed and published by Nintendo, and it's just like it's one of those games where you're like, oh, this is what Nintendo does when they're not working on Mario shit. You know, just fun little quirky games. Little puzzle games. Josh, so you said that you missed out on quite a bit of the DS and the 3DS. Is that correct?
100% correct. I completely skipped on all of it. I'm just not a big stylus fan. While I will admit there were a few pretty big hits that I knew about and I've heard about, and I've even played a little bit here and there. I don't know. PSP was, in my opinion, an incredible handheld, and I just didn't see a reason to get into the DS. My kids had them. They played the Pokemons. Yeah. They played the Big Brain Academies, the little drawing games and stuff like that. I mean, what was that little on the original DS where you could connect and send messages to other people that were in Wi-Fi distance of you?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was I got one right here. What the hell's it called? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. Anyway,
whatever it was, but
notes, like sending notes to each other.
PictoChat.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. Little PictoChat stuff. I was like, oh, that's pretty cute. It's a neat little thing. But I mean, after a little while, it kind of just the idea of it just wore off, similar to the way that the waggle controls of the Wii did. I don't know. The PSP has games. It has video games. You know what I mean? Like, where are the fucking video games? Where are the video games on the?
You are fucking crazy because this is. I'm just going to tell you in the most polite possible way
that I'm fucking crazy.
That the 3DS has one of the greatest libraries of game ass fucking video games on any handheld. I'm just saying it's got an amazing and 90%
are they
have nothing to do with the stylus.
Well, I hope so. I really do hope so. I didn't know that, though. I just took what I got from the DS and then what games I've seen people playing, and I'm like, you know what, this just isn't for me. I want games that are more than like little phone games. I can play that same shit on my phone. Oh, little cute little puzzle game, moving little boxes around. Come on. Yeah, come on. Give me a video game.
I'm telling you that I'm promising you that you're speaking from a place of just abject ignorance.
Sure.
And when you get your 3DS in the mail, hopefully from that
I'm pretty excited.
Website.
No, it'll be great. I'm excited.
Delighted. You're going to be delighted. You're going to be like, "Whoa, what the hell?"
Good.
You're going to be like one of those people who got hit by a car and was unconscious for 5 years and woke up and was like, "Look at all this great shit I missed." That's what you're going to be. I promise.
Well, all right. Good. And I'm excited about that. I really am.
So the next one, the reason I asked about the DS was because there were a couple games, a couple adventure games on the original DS called Hotel Dusk. And the next one was called Last Window, which was only released in Europe and Japan. But it's region free, so you can totally play it. There was a game on the 3DS eShop that was the last game ever made by this studio, Sing, C-I-N-G, and it's called Chase Cold Case Investigations Distant Memories. Dumb name, stupid name, and again, not nearly as good as Hotel Dusk or Last Window because it's more like a condensed version of it. Sure. Still, if you're into those mystery adventure games, this one is just a good relic worth picking up.
Nice.
Next up, we've got 3 games in a series called the Denpa Men. The Denpa Men, They Came by Wave, the Denpa Men 2, Beyond the Waves, and the Denpa Men 3, The Rise of Digital. So these are goofy games that these little Denpa Mens, they look almost like Pikmin, and you use the AR feature on the 3DS, and they're all around you, floating in the air, and you capture them in the air, and then you take them into the game, and you play like this little dungeon crawler with them. Goofy little games, not everybody's cup of tea, but pretty fun. All right, next up, the Dylan's Rolling Western series. Dylan's Rolling Western, and then the sequel called The Last Ranger, and then finally Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers. Can we do like maybe next week we can go over all of the really good CDI games that you missed out on? This is really because then I could just go be like, yeah, that's quirky, and plumbers don't wear ties. It's quirky, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, these are a series of like what's it called? Tower defense games created by Nintendo, and they're in 3D with polygons and all that shit. And it's a character that we're never going to see again because they weren't big hits. And Nintendo was like, hey, let's try this wacky thing out on the 3DS eShop and see if it works. Didn't work, but they're fun games. Like nobody bought them, but they're fun games.
They're little tower defense games that nobody really bought.
Yep.
Sign me up. This sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, just because nobody bought them doesn't mean they're not good games. They're good games.
Sure.
This is a fun one. Gata Protectors.
God of Protectors?
Gata. Gotta. Gata Protectors. This is like an old school 8-bit style looking game, right? And it's really fucking interesting, really fun. It's about fucking like $8, I think. It's like an action game mashed up with an RTS. Really fun. This is one that I think you should write down. I think you'd like this one.
Gata Protectors.
Yep, very old school in nature. Very 2D sprite based graphics. Really cool game. Really cool game.
All right, got it.
Yep. All right. Coming up next, Kokuga. Now, we all know Ikaruga, and we all know Radiant Silvergun, yes?
Of course, yeah.
Yep, this is a game created by the director of those two games.
Holy
And
shit.
it's a little shmup that's kind of your tank. You're a tank this time, so you're not flying around. You're kind of driving around, but it's got like this Tron style, I don't know, kind of Tron style aesthetic to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're rolling around on this tank, and then to turn your turret, you use the R and L buttons, to turn your turret around and shoot.
Right.
The game's hard as balls, but it's really cool. And this game has been delisted in Europe and maybe even Japan, but it is still available on the eShop in the US. I think it's $15.
How do you spell it? Kokuga?
Kokuga.
Yeah. Kokuga.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah. How you feeling now?
That is this one sounds pretty cool. I'll see if I can find it.
All right, Liberation Maiden. This one is developed by Grasshopper Manufacture, who you may know from like the No More Heroes and Killer 7, all that stuff. Published by Level 5, who everybody fucking knows from all the shit Level 5 does. Anyway, this one is it's a shooter game where you're this is the premise is amazing. So the president dies and his daughter takes over because apparently that's how it works in whatever fucking wacky country this is. And she then dons this like mech suit and she's running around in like this 3D mech shooter kind of thing. Firing lasers at shit. It's a cool game. Also under $10. Good one. All right. Let's see. Where are we at next? Nano Assault EX. So
I have played the Nano Assault games. That was a GBA game, wasn't it? Or was it 3D or regular DS?
A regular DS. So Nano Stray 1 and 2.
Yes.
Were on the DS, and they were like little Euro shmups, basically. It was forward facing, but on a 2D plane. And they're fun little games, right?
Crazy good graphics. Like crazy good graphics.
Yeah, and that was kind of their claim to fame. It was like, okay, these games are okay, but goddamn, they're nice to look at on the DS,
They basically look like handheld Neo Geo games, is what they look like. Like, wow.
A little bit. So this is the same thing. This is Nano Assault EX, only available on the 3DS eShop. It's a sequel to those Nano Stray games. Just as pretty, just as fun. Next up, Josh, we got some more wacky shit. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love the title of this one. You ready?
Ready. I'm ready.
Pocket Card Jockey.
You're killing me, John.
What?
Pocket Card Jockey?
Yep. So this one is made by our friends at the Pokemon Company, Published by Nintendo. But basically, it's a horse racing game, but it's a card game at the same time. This one's $7 on the eShop, and it's fucking delightful. So I'm gonna read to you a little description of this. Stack cards like it's a race to the finish, and it is. In this fast-paced mashup of solitaire and horse racing, you'll jockey your way to victory by clearing cards to energize your horse.
What the fuck is going on here? Am I being punked? You said this game is delightful.
Is delightful. Is delightful.
Pocket Card Jockey.
Pocket Card Jockey.
Okay.
Pocket Card Jockey.
I'm writing this down.
Oh, fuck yeah, you are.
God. Oh man. Jockey.
All right. Yep. Pocket Card Jockey. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got the Pushmo, Crashmo, Stretchmo series.
Pushmo, Crotch, what?
Pushmo, Crashmo, and Stretchmo. It's a series of games, puzzle games, also created by Nintendo, games that we're never going to see again because Nintendo's like, well, we did it on the 3DS and now we're off to doing other things. Fun games, man. So you're this little dude who runs around this little thing, and it's like a kind of a puzzle platformer where it's all flat. And then you got to pull out different, levels and then get to the top, touch the flag. Fun game. Fun little handheld game.
Is it like does it do cool things in 3D?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
is it
yeah.
like-
You can put the 3D on, and you can look at the 3D if you're into all that shit.
okay.
You know.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
You know, if you're into that thing. But yeah, these are widely acclaimed games. These were super popular. They reviewed very well. And I think there might have been a version on the Wii U as well. I can't remember of one of these.
Huh.
But they're fun little games. Next up, we've got Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. I've never played it. Heard it's great. Every single list I looked at had this game. I actually have it. I think I got it for like nothing. I must have got a code for it. Haven't played it yet. Heard it's lovely. Lovely. Gonna move on.
Rhythm Thief, huh?
Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. Yeah. So I think it might be like kind of a Professor Layton thing, but with like rhythm game kind of gameplay to it.
You know what was on the PSP?
Yeah. Tell me.
Ys 7. That's a game.
Yeah.
That's a fucking video game.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
Free your mind, Josh. No, anyway, so I should also clarify to you, Josh, that these are just only the downloadable games. These are not games that you could get physically anywhere, right? So these are meant to be small, bite-sized eShop only games, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So that I mean, if you want to get into the fucking cartridges, of which there are bajillions, we can totally.
There are
do that.
bajillions.
There are
Okay.
bajillions. But
All
these are just the small, bite-sized eShop games that you can only get
On the
between
3DS.
between now and
and
when they fucking close it down.
all right.
So these
All
are
right.
my,
So
these are my picks for like, hey, if you're looking to pile up on some fucking eShop only games that will never, ever, ever be available again, these are the ones that you should consider.
why do you think these games are never going to be available again, John?
Because it's
Do you think 'cause they're-
Nintendo, and that's what they do. We talked
'Cause
about the fucking Wii last week with the fucking Contra Rebirth and all that shit. This is what Nintendo does. They close down their goddamn store, and then they're like, "Tough titty said the kitty when the milk went dry."
It's a little interesting that they haven't decided to come out with Pocket Card Jockey on the Switch. I mean, why?
Yeah, that game's great. That game's great.
All right. All right. I wrote it down.
Siesta Fiesta. This is an Arkanoid style game. Super fun. Super fun. Lots of different levels, lots of different modes. Really cool. Next up, you might like this one. Weapon Shop Deomase. No idea how to pronounce it.
Weapon Shop Deomase?
I think so. DE and then capital OMASSE. So, Josh, you know how sometimes when you're playing an RPG and you go to a shopkeeper and he's like, I got some weapons for you, right?
Ooh.
You're
Okay.
the weapon guy, and you're building the weapons for these adventurers who are coming through. That's this game. That's this game.
All right. All right. Weapon Shop Deomase. I wrote it down. I wrote that one.
Yep.
It doesn't sound bad.
And then finally, this list is just simply a whole bunch of 3D games that. So they took classic games, classic pixel games that everybody loves, and they made 3D versions of them. So the 3D effect popped out, and some of them are fucking really cool looking, like Fantasy Zone 1 and 2.
Wasn't that the Sega collection? Sega 3D collection?
There are a bunch of those. Yep. So Fantasy Zone 1 and 2. There's Shinobi 3. There's Thunderblade, Space Harrier, Gunstar Heroes, Outrun.
Ooh.
All of those. All of those are great in 3D. It's. I mean, they don't really play any differently. It's just got this really cool look to them, and they're all done by M2, so you know they're good ports.
Oh, yeah. Right on. Very cool.
Yeah. So all of these, and they're all like $5, maybe, if that.
I think I've heard about those. That actually sounds incredibly cool.
Yeah. And then Nintendo also put out a handful. Oh, I forgot Streets of Rage 1 and 2, also part of that collection.
Right on. Very
so
cool.
Nintendo also put out a handful, including Kid Icarus, Excite Bike, and Kirby's Adventure. There are a handful of other ones that they did, but these are the ones that I'm like, yeah, these are cool.
So do they look any different if you played them on a 2DS?
I mean, I think it would be kind of pointless.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you don't get that neato 3D, you know. Ooh, look at that. I can see
That's-
into
yeah.
the screen, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's it, brother.
That's the okay. So of those games, I wrote down Attack of the Friday Monsters,
Yep. Fun little adventure.
Gotta Potatoes,
Gotta Potatoes. Yep. Gotta Protectors. But, yep, Potatoes is nice, too.
Coco Ikaruga,
Yep.
Nano Stray 3, Pocket Card Jockey.
Nano Assault EX, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rhythm Thief.
Yep.
Weapon Shop Denise, I assume.
Yeah, Denise,
and then Sega's 3D collection. That's pretty hefty. That's a good chunk of things. That Sega collection, I remember those being kind of a big deal. Didn't they offer those up in physical release too, like a collection of them in like a 3DS case or something like that?
They may have. I never saw it, but it's totally possible that they did.
Well,
totally possible, my friend. So again, those are simply the games that are like going to be going away. You'll likely never see them again. And then Josh, once you get that 3DS in the mail, we'll start talking actual real titles that you can get for DS and 3DS.
Yeah, I think that's true. I have none. Actually, I might have. You know what I do own? Holy fuck! I just thought of this. I own Metal Slug 7. Is it 7 or 6? No, 7.
Yeah, that one's
great
for DS.
I own 7. Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Yeah. Very cool.
And you know, the DS has all like a shitload of the Dragon Quest games.
Yeah.
You know, they've got tons of stuff. So
good.
We'll go through some of that. Just you and I offline. You know.
Oh my.
You know.
Sounds intimate.
Yeah. So that's it. Those are my recommendations for games. Like if you're like, fuck, I want to load up. Those are the ones you should get.
You know what though?
Yeah.
Here's something for you, John. And I'm not a Sony guy at all. I'm not. PS4 and 5 are like the first consoles of theirs that I even stomached during this existence. The PSP, I don't want to keep going back to this, but the PSP had a bunch of online only or digital only games as well. Yeah. Tons of them. And I think that might be something that we could, do one of these types of digital games, e-game only that are now gone in the wind, because there's a lot of games like that too that were on other consoles. I mean, I'm sure we could do that. We could do a feature of one of those probably every month. 360, PS3, Vita, the Vita.
I mean, 360 for sure, man. 360 has just a shitload of games that that are digital only, and luckily most of them are still available unless they've been delisted for some reason.
Right. Yeah.
But like Omega 5, that was an awesome shmup that was like delisted before the 360 even went out. So there are tons. It's a bummer when games like that just get fucking lost.
Right, because I remember they opened up the 360 for like independent developers, and this wave of games came out, and they were like $1.99, $3 each. So at that point, you're just like, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. Why not? There's probably tons of games that just vaporized into the air, and you'll never see or hear from again.
Yeah, and you never ever get to play Pocket Card Jockey again.
I would miss out on it. That's the game I constantly keep coming back to too. Is going to be Pocket Card Jockey. And just watch a week from now, I'm going to be like, John, how come you didn't tell me about Pocket Card Jockey before? I'm in love with this game. It's like horse racing and solitaire at the same time. Oh my God.
I know, right?
I'm in love.
All right. So,
oh God.
You're going to fucking download it. You're going to be like, why the hell did I do this?
We'll see. Maybe I'll fall in love. And these quirky little Japanese games. I mean, that's the thing is, I really do love them. I just, man, they sound like phone games, and that's where I'm having a hard time. I can't. Not that I don't need like a fucking in-depth like 25-hour RPG for every game I play, but sometimes with the quirkiness and the fucking gimmicks that they just throw in, it's just like, hey, this is a 6-minute game. Like I don't care.
Games, to be fair, these games are by nature meant to be mostly bite-sized games. They're meant to be small, bite-sized, downloadable games that you just fuck with for a few hours, and then you're like, okay, great. So that to be fair, that is the case. I mean, there is also an Ace Attorney. A Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game that is exclusive. So if you want like something a little longer and adventure like that,
I remember that.
Destinies, Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, I think it's called, something like that.
Yeah.
But So yeah. All right, man. Let's move on to the new releases.
Damn, we have new releases. Holy shit.
We do. We got a couple that are somewhat significant as well. Yeah. You got
Pocket Card Journey Jockey number 6 or something.
That'd be amazing.
It's Pocket Card Journey.
You know what? I actually kind of forgot about the premise of that game. And on my phone, I've been playing solitaire like a freaking old man, like constantly for the past month, just because I'm sitting on the shitter. I'm like, well, I'll play a round of solitaire. I'm going to pull out Pocket Card Jockey and I can start playing that now.
Good.
Damn, if I can race horses while playing solitaire, that's what I'm doing.
Whatever you can do to avoid finishing Card Fighters Clash, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here are the new releases. Alex 2 for the PlayStations and the Xboxes and the PC. Never heard of it. No idea.
You mean Alex Kidd? Alex Kidd 2?
Alex, ELEX 2. It's a sequel to Alex 1, I hear.
Sounds amazing. Yeah.
Far Changing Tides, also for the Xboxes, PlayStations, the Switch, and the PC. Let's see. Shadow Warrior 3 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. We got Puzzle Quest 3, since Josh loves mobile games, for the PC and mobile. I had no idea Babylon's Fall was coming out already. It's the new Platinum game for the PlayStations and PC. I had no idea we were already here. I have almost zero interest in this game, which is strange because I typically buy nearly everything Platinum puts out. But this game looks like shit to me. Gran Turismo 7 coming out for the PlayStations, plural.
Yep.
And then finally, this is Josh's pick of the week. Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, just buy the demo or rent the demo. I think you'd probably get as far as the rest of that. Maybe I doubt it. I don't think I'd even play it past the demo.
Josh, I almost finished the first battle before I shut it off. I tried it again. I was like, yeah, it's out. I'll give it a go. I fell asleep during the first battle, and then I woke up and powered off my Switch, and I was like, all right, that's enough of that.
That's enough of that. I heard, it looks beautiful, though. It looks beautiful.
It does, yeah. It does. It does. I wish it were interesting.
Yeah, that's too bad.
And that's it. So, Josh, it is time. Let's just fucking do this. It's time for the last question. I'm gonna do a redo. I'm just gonna say fuck it. Predict one news item for this week that we're gonna miss.
Oh, Jesus. Let's make it pretty big. Yeah. It's a pretty big one. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be on Twitter first, and then TMZ is gonna break the news to us. It's that Konami has been purchased by Sony.
Oh, okay. TMZ is gonna pick that up.
TMZ's breaking that one for
yeah.
What?
There's gonna be some scandal involved, so TMZ's.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah.
First look picks.
Yeah. Sony's like, oh, Kojima was our gateway drug into Konami.
Yeah. Okay. I like that one. I like it. Let's see. I'll make a prediction here while we're at it.
They're going to announce Pocket Card Jockey 3.
Pocket Card Jockey 2 and 3 are coming out. Yeah, for sure. Except it's going to be Pocket Card Water Polo. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. Josh, I believe you're going to be out next week as well because you are hosting EverCon.
We are, yes. That's going to be a big event. It's next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 4th, 5th, and 6th of March.
Right on. And Klaus and I will be streaming for a little bit for EverCon on Saturday.
Yep.
But other big news is that in 2 days from when this podcast drops is the beginning of Intergalactic Schmappreciation Month. 2022. This is like, fuck, man, this has got to be like 15 years of Schmappreciation months. So,
wow.
You, Pickle Friction, Dale, and myself will be streaming. One of us will be streaming a different shmup every single day of the month.
Every single day.
If you follow one of us, you'll follow them all because we'll host each other. And so it'll be easy to find. So join us. Let's talk some shmups. Let's shmappreciate, shall we?
I think it'll be spectacular. I'm excited. I've got a good list of games that I'm going to run throughout the month. And one amazing thing is I figured out a really cool way to capture PSP gameplay. So I'm going to look up some good shoot 'em ups on my PSP. The only reason I keep mentioning it today is because I've been digging in my PSP collection, and it's like, oh shit, that's right.
There's a hell of a Gradius collection on PSP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really great games on the PSP. PSP is fantastic. So much better than that shitty 3DS.
Crazy talk. Anyway, that's it for us this week. Until next week, you can find us at MoJoMenace.com, where you can find a link to our forums, our Discord, and our merch store. And you can also find us on youtube.com/MoJoMenace, where you may be watching this and watching Josh's look of disbelief as I pull out fucking stone cold classics like the Denpa Men and fucking
Weapon Shop Denise,
Rhythm Thief, and that kind of shit. So anyway, twitch.tv/MoJoMenace, where you can watch all the Shma Appreciation streams.
Yep.
And on all of the social medias, we are at MoJoMenace. Josh, where can they find you?
Well, if you'd like to recommend me some DS games that are maybe a little more interesting than, say, Nano Assault and Gotta Potatoes, you can always at me at _Joshua Turbo. Don't forget the underscore, as it is the most important underscore in all of the internet.
All right, that's it for us. Bye.